well. You can hold on to it if you feel like it's going to slide out from underneath there. And just start by gently turning your head side to side. And just trying to melt and release the back of the head and the top of the neck against the foam roller as you massage. Anytime we're doing massage, I'll encourage you to focus on any spot that feels like you really need it. Okay, so let's turn the head to one side, and we're going to begin to nod the head yes now, massaging up and down the back of the head. And even as you're nodding yes and massaging up and down, you can still be turning the head to the side a little further, or a little closer to the center. Again, you just focus on wherever it feels like you need it the most. And on that same side, let's try to make some little circles. And let's circle in the other direction. And of course, let's turn the head to the other side. And first nod the head yes, moving more to the side or more to the center, or right in the middle. And let's again make some circles around this side, one way. And then the other way. Okay, let's come back to moving the head side to side a few more times. Maybe it feels like you're sinking a little deeper into the tissues at the back of the head now. And let's come back to the center. And let's kind of gently bring the chin up toward the ceiling. We're just trying to shorten the back of the neck just for a moment so that we can feel what it feels like to then lengthen the back of the neck as the chin comes toward the chest. Almost just getting some traction against the foam roller there. So again, let's inhale and gently lift the chin toward the ceiling, just feeling the shortening in the back and then releasing the shortening muscles into a longer neck. So again, let's inhale, lift the chin, shortening the muscles. And exhale, lengthen by dropping the chin toward the chest, letting the Adam's apple feel heavy toward the floor. And one more time, inhale, reach the chin, and exhale, lengthen. Okay, so let's bring the foam roller underneath the back, maybe the back of the ribs here. If you have a ponytail or a hood, you're going to want to hold on to it here so you don't get pinned down. So we'll lift, using the legs, we're going to lift the bum off the floor and start to massage up and down the upper back. So you're driving with the legs here, again, just trying to let the back melt against the foam roller. If you squeeze your elbows together, you'll kind of spread the shoulder blades apart and expose a little bit more of the back to the foam roller. And really you can move up and down as far as you like, as long as you can figure out how to keep your balance. Okay, so let's just shift the weight to one side. So now we're going to focus the massage between the spine and the shoulder blade. Again, you want to just take time to focus on whatever spots feel like you really need it. And then just turn to the other side, again, focusing between the spine and the shoulder blade. over top of the shoulder blade a little bit to massage those muscles that we use to shrug our shoulders. And then let's come back to the middle a little bit again and just see if it feels any softer, easier, or less intense than it did in the beginning. And then let's bring that foam roller kind of toward the back of the shoulder blades, and you can do this in any number of different positions to focus on different segments of the spine. So we're going to bring one hand behind the head and one to the bottom ribs. So you actually want to feel those bones. We're not just resting the hand on the belly. We want to feel the bones of the ribs. We're going to curl up, pull those bottom ribs down toward the floor, and try to keep the ribs there. So without letting them move, we're then going to slide the back of the head into the hand and toward the floor, trying to mobilize the bones of the upper back and neck and slide the vertebrae back. You want to avoid reaching your chin toward the ceiling and crunching the back of the neck. We'll keep the chin in a little bit. It's like you're going to make it a little bit of a double chin. So let's again curl it up. Pull those bottom ribs down. Let's try to hold them down. Slide the head back into the hand and toward the floor. Taking a moment to find release there. And because we end up getting quite a shoulder stretch doing this too, let's do a couple on both sides. So we'll switch hands. One on the bottom ribs. Keep those ribs there. Slide the head back into the hand and toward the floor. And one more time, curling up. Hold the bottom ribs down. Slide the head back and down. If you wanted to, you could repeat that by just sliding your bum a couple inches one way or the other and focusing on a different segment of the spine. Okay, next we're going to bring this foam roller long ways. And we'll have a seat. You want to sit right at the edge. We're going to curl back and all the way down into the foam roller. You want to make sure the back of the pelvis and the head are supported so we're not trying to hold anything up. We're actually resting here. I like to begin by bringing the palms toward the ceiling, resting the backs of the hands on the floor, and then just relaxing there. Maybe they'll slide out a little bit and that's fine. So right here, we're going to very gently turn the head side to side. So we're trying to release one ear toward the floor and let the other shoulder be heavy. This is a great time. If you feel a lot more restriction on one side than the other, you could go to the restricted side a few times in a row to try to work through that a little bit and find some release. It's important that we don't try to force the ear down toward the floor, but rather just release it and kind of get into gravity a little bit there. So next I'd like to do the same thing, but let's get in a place where we can get the fingers around the bottom of the foam roller. And then if you need to, kind of inchworm yourself away from the bottom a little bit, so you have the sense of your arms being pulled down away from your ears a little bit. And then same thing, turn the head side to side. It's going to feel different. Now you can take as much time to breathe and hang out on either side as much as you need to. Always trying to keep the flow of the breath, of course. And we'll bring the head center, release the hands from the foam roller. So we're going to go into some arm movements here, trying to open the chest. And it's important as we go to not lose the stability of the spine. So we want to, as we bring the hands up over the head, we want to try not to pop the rib cage. It's going to help us find the spinal stability and also increase our chances of finding some more openness in the shoulders. So we're going to begin by taking a big inhale, bringing the fingers up toward the ceiling. And up above the head toward the floor, and exhale, just circle So again, we'll inhale, float the hands up. And exhale, circling. You can drag your hands on the floor if they make it there. Inhale, float them up. And exhale, circle. If you have shoulder pain, you can just lift your hands up as far as you need to stay away from a place of pain and just work toward that mobility a little bit at a time without forcing yourself into anything that doesn't feel good. So let's go into our goalpost stretch. So we're going to float the hands up toward the ceiling, up above the head. Okay, we pause here, allowing the bottom ribs to feel heavy, allowing the hands to feel heavy. And then bend the elbows, bringing them toward the feet. So we come into a place of right angles at the armpits and the elbows. And just take a few breaths there, allowing the chest to open even more. And we'll straighten the arms, float the hands toward the hips, and we'll do that again. Inhale, floating the hands up toward the ceiling, up above the head. And exhale, bending. And really you can take this stretch wherever you like. If you like the elbows to be a little bit lower, if it feels better with the hands a little bit higher, you just kind of choose whatever position it feels like you need the most. And we'll straighten those arms and float the hands down by the hips. So let's take another pec stretch here. So we're going to float the fingertips up toward the ceiling. Put your palms together and just lock your elbows straight. Okay, so big inhale here. Exhale, we're going to float the hands out to the sides, reaching the fingertips as far away from each other as you can, keeping the elbows locked straight, and just allowing the hands to feel heavier and heavier, allowing the chest to open, the arms lengthen. We'll do that again with a little variation. Big inhale at the top, exhale. If it feels good, you can take the hands up on a diagonal. Again, we're keeping the bottom of the ribs heavy, letting the hands be heavy, keeping the elbows straight. And you can do this at any number of different angles, whatever feels like you really need it. We can take them almost straight up and down. And we'll finish by bringing the hands toward the hips.